Discontinued
Gravy.
gravy.
Discontinued gravy.
Gold. Simplify life and make it fun.
Because we've been there.
I mean, we're in our mid-20s.
So we've seen it all.
This is
Discontinued.
gravy. Woo woo.
Gravy train. Just
We
kidding.
hope.
Just
Oh,
kidding.
Everybody, manifest. Manifest.
Manifest,
Anyway.
people.
Yeah, manifest. That's what we gotta do.
So how are you doing, Nick? I feel like you're starting off with high energy today.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling good. I am home alone. I have the dog, who is not getting enough attention because nobody's home half the time because my mom's not here, so she's not just home all the time, and
Poor thing.
it's a thing. She's getting through it though. She's got a neighbor walking her. It's all good. It's all good. But there was actually a moment I had just a couple days ago, and it made me. I don't quite know how to describe the feeling. It was like a nostalgic feeling. It was like my heart. So I was walking around in North Vancouver, in this area, and it was like like North Van could be like quite like quiet residential kind of area. You know what I mean? Like you're like 2 blocks away from a main road. You're like out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is technically like residential.
Yeah, it's very, very, very quiet place here. But I live on like a main road, so I get a fair bit of car noise, and even if I go for walks. But this place was nice and quiet and quaint. And I'm just walking along, and it's that like, the sun was hot, it was bearing down, and you know that like summer buzz? Do you know that? Do you know that sound? It's just
yes,
like,
that's just the sound to the summer evening.
You know it's summer. And yeah, so I was just walking along, and I had the heat and everything, and it was just like, it made me feel like this was summer, you know what I mean? Like summers I had back in the day, like you're a kid, you're just no responsibility, and it was just a good time.
So
And
basically the best days of your life.
yeah, like it just felt amazing, you know what I mean? Like it just felt amazing, and like summers that, let's be honest, we're not going to get really ever again. Until maybe we have children, you get those kind of feelings. But it's not going to be like responsibility free. It just felt. I don't know. It just felt good. Like it was like, oh man, that's summer. That's how I feel like.
Do you know what's sad though? Like I feel like summer's ending. Like when I went out this morning, there was like dew on my car. You can feel it in the air. Like it's basically fall almost.
Start cranking Taylor Swift's August, honestly, because there's the Spirit bike trail I take through with my scooter. It just leaves, and I was like,
You're like, it's pretty.
It would look nice, but yeah, I saw our first 12-foot skeleton, and I was like, fuck that.
Ooh. I mean, you might as well just keep those up all year round. But
yeah,
my biggest advice for anyone who's like ready just to jump into fall, they're like, I'm done with summer, or people who are like clinging on to summer with every last hope. You live in BC. You live in a place where we get all the seasons. Like, we're so lucky.
I know, it's very true. It's very true. Like, we get spring and fall, which a lot of the Canadian provinces don't get. Like, I remember when I went to Toronto, one of the first times I went, the people I was staying with, she was just like, spring is going to happen in like an instant, and then it's going to be summer. Like, when I went there, it snowed like 2 days prior, and she's like, just watch. In like 3 days, all the flowers are going to be bloomed. And I was like, all right. 3 days, all the flowers have bloomed, and it was like summer. It was weird. They just missed spring.
Right? So my advice is to anyone right now who's going through kind of either the summer blues or they're ready to hit up spooky season, whatever, can we just enjoy the weather that we're having? And just be like, when it is officially fall, be glad it's fall. When it's still summer, be glad it's summer. Live in the present.
Which is what it's something I do. It's something I live by, and that's, it's something you gotta take. For example, I worked an ass load this week. This is day 7. Oh yeah, one more day. 7 of 8 days in a row working. And on Saturday, I worked 16 hours in between 2 jobs from 7 a.m. until midnight. I didn't get home till about, actually, that's funny. I got home at about 12:45, let's say, brushed my teeth and everything, went to bed, looked at my watch, and I was like, it's 12:51. Good. I looked at my watch, or like my stats the next morning, and see how long I slept. It said I went to sleep at 12:53. 2 minutes.
That was a fire sleep. You know that.
2 minutes. Went whoop right into it. And then I worked another 8 hours the next morning. So I basically worked 24 hours in a 31-hour span.
Yeah, but you're not even a doctor or a lawyer or a nurse or something cool like that.
No, my legs, my feet hurt incredibly. Like, I have never felt that kind of pain. It was kind of insane. And then I got convinced to play beach volleyball.
Which we know Nick will say yes to.
Yeah, which was annoying because I had actually said no. I was like, guys, I'm doing this. I can't. And then one person side messaged me. He was like, Nick. I'm like, yes. I'm like, Nick. I'm like, yes. I was like, fuck.
It doesn't happen without you. That's the problem.
That is the problem. This is exactly the problem. So we went and did. I was really friggin' tired. Like, it was pain. Like, that was... I was tired. But I also kind of had the thought process, as I was kind of thinking about it throughout the day, I was kind of like, you know what? Really, we only have a few more volleyball games left. So, got to take them while we can, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly like that. Enjoy the moments while you can.
That's all we can do. Just take it in stride. But, Krysta, what's new with you? How are you? How's it going?
Nick, I've been extremely offended by you.
By me. Oh, God. What have I done?
You don't even realize what you've done.
No, this is common. This was a common problem in my last relationship.
So for the guy who loves hair,
Oh no, I noticed.
You have not commented on my new hairstyle.
I have. You got bangs.
Yeah, I got bangs.
You got bangs. You went bangs.
Yeah, I did. I've been wanting to get them for over a year, but as soon as I got engaged, it was like,
yeah, that would have been.
Yeah, I had a good hairdresser who was like, I'm sorry, the wedding hairdo you showed me, bangs are a no-go.
Yes.
Right? So I waited a little over a month after being married, and I was like, boom, give them to me.
Nice. Looks good.
Thank you. That's all I wanted. You didn't even have to say it looked good. You could have just said you got bangs, and I would have been happy.
I noticed.
Do you know?
They actually do they do work on you.
Thank you.
But a lot of people, they don't.
I think you have to have a big forehead. People with small foreheads, nah.
I did not say that, but a lot of the time, bangs are an absolute no-go for me. Nope, never, nope. See, swipe left.
You need these type of bangs where you can just, part them in the middle. Oh, look, I have curtain bangs now. Look at me, so stylish.
Yeah. That was actually good. That was incredible. I liked that. But yeah, no, it looks good. It works for you.
Thank you. It's so funny though. I feel like so many people have negative connotations to bangs. Today when I walked in to work, I didn't see my boss yesterday, but today they saw me and they're like, "Oh, bangs." Are like in the tone as in, is everything all right, without asking, is everything okay? They're just say no more.
That fair enough.
And I mean, if you knew that I was going through something, maybe, but
yeah.
I don't know what vibe I'm giving off.
I don't know what vibe does bangs give off? You know what I mean? There are some hairstyles where it's I'm that bad bitch, better walk out. Then there's the Karen type of haircut, and then there's just damn girl, okay. What does bangs give off? I feel like it. Oh, I feel like bangs is kind of punk rockish. It's not the bad bitch, but it's the fuck you, and I don't really care what you think.
Oh, I'm giving off bad bitch vibes. Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? But not like bad bitch. It's like, I'm a bad bitch. Like, it's a straight line, not like an up-down bad bitch.
No,
It's
like I'd cut you.
Like, yeah, exactly. Like, oh, you don't like it? Well, fuck you too, Slice.
Yeah, so bangs. I do want to assure everyone who knows me and knows that I got bangs, that I'm doing great.
Doing great, doing just fine.
I'm mentally stable, because I know that's a lot of people's concerns.
Right, because they kind of pull the hair and just go.
Yeah, and I mean, I didn't do it myself. Like, I went and got it done because I don't trust myself. I do not have a steady hand. Like, look at this.
Yep.
It shakes.
Yep, I know. I don't trust you with scissors, so.
Right? And a lot of people don't. But I thought it was funny. I saw one of my girlfriends on the weekend, and I hadn't seen her since, like, I saw her after the wedding. We went and played some tennis, but she's like.
Adorable.
She's like, oh my God, you got bangs. And then I was like, yeah. And I got a tattoo. Because I haven't really told a lot of people unless they listened to our last episode.
I mean, other than that,
right?
Yeah.
And she's like, what's wrong with you? You don't Snapchat. You don't tell anyone. You're so secretive.
Yeah, your Snapchat game is. What's the word? Like a mysterious.
Right? And I mean, like.
You do like the half face or like the up face or the. And I feel like I've adopted a lot of these practices from you.
Thank you. I used to be a Snapchat expert. Now I don't know what's going on these days with Be Real and all of that. Someone was trying to make me download it today, and I'm scared.
The fuck is Be Real?
So, it's basically being real. And it's basically like Snapchat, but you have a time limit to do it. That's my understanding. And it gets sent to all of your contacts that, like, have the app.
Isn't that called a story?
Right? It's basically you're forcing a story at an inconvenient time. Like, I'm sorry, I work a full-time job. I can't always pull out my phone in the 2-minute time interval of when I'm supposed to do this Be Real.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like,
I don't get it.
I just think
it's
quite maybe a Gen Z thing, because you're the kind of, you know, if you're working a part-time job or something, you're more or in school, you're more likely to be able to pull out your phone.
No, right, exactly. It's definitely a new thing.
Right, I'm afraid I probably will download and use it, so I will provide an update when that happens.
Okay, I won't, but we'll all be interested to hear Krysta's take on Be Real.
So, yeah, Be Real.
Be Real. And is it B without an E?
Oh, I have no idea.
Because I feel like it is, and I feel like I hate that.
You hate that already.
The future's not looking good.
Oh, it's not looking bright, fellas.
No, it's not. It's
okay,
not good at all.
Nick, I looked it up for you. It is actually spelled B-E.
Well, you know what? There it is. What's the term? I stand corrected.
I stand corrected.
Live on this podcast, I stand corrected.
I'm glad we were able to set that straight today.
I'm glad that it was figured out and that these people aren't total douchebags.
Are you just calling everyone who uses the app a douchebag?
No, I'm calling the people who would have made the app if they called it B with no E real. They would have been douchebags, but nobody is a douchebag. Get it? Do you get what I'm saying here?
Yeah, I feel like I'm getting what you're putting down.
Exactly. Anyway.
Anyways.
The future is looking bleak for our teens.
Yeah, Nick, I feel like you're wearing the two teams that need the most support right now.
Okay, so if you don't follow football at all, this is very football-y today. This comes out on top of... I don't pick my shirts. It's whatever's on top. That jersey right there is the same team that Krysta said to wear, and I don't think she had seen my t-shirt yet.
No, I hadn't, because he was walking around his room.
Exactly. And the hat, I just looked at it and picked it. And so, Seahawks, as you may have known, traded their franchise quarterback. Understandably. He's going to want a ton of money. He didn't want to be here anymore. Fuck him. Don't care. unfortunately, we have two. Okay, they're not. Okay, they're not. Yeah, they're not shitty, but you know what? We're not winning the Super Bowl with them. Okay, it's pretty blatant. So that's a thing. So that's going to be a year. And then the Lions have been having a great year. They're 8-1. We have this great new Canadian quarterback. He's been breaking records. He's literally been breaking records and then breaking his own records that he just set.
Wow.
He's been great. He was gonna be the MOP, and then some guy landed on his foot. He's got a Lisfranc injury. Do you know what that is? I don't, but it's like right in the middle of your foot.
Ouchie.
And if you listen to the doctors, that is about 6 to 8 weeks off your foot. Before rehab can even start, 6 to 8 weeks. So if you're looking and reading between the lines, he ain't coming back this year no matter what they say. He's like, we're hopeful for his return. He's done for the year. And the Lions' Grey Cup hopes, I wouldn't say are dashed. We don't know what we have in Michael O'Connor yet. It's a good test this weekend against the Rough Riders. I think if he can figure out the offense and win that game, you know, we got a good defense. If we can fix the special, look, there's a chance. But if, like, our chance to win the Grey Cup was, like, I don't know, a 90% chance with Rourke, probably, like, it could go either way at this point. It's probably a 50-50 shot, you know? So anyway.
Anyways, that was our sports segment this week.
It's something.
But Nick, it's never too late to go back or like to not give up on something.
Well, you're right. I mean, in the age-old question that never say to a person after a season ends is, there's always next year. Don't say that. You're a tool.
Oh, I've definitely said that before.
Exactly. The season ends, your team's crushed, and there's always next year. Why?
But
Why would
there
you even
is.
say that? There is, but that's not what I'm worried about minutes after the thing ended. Your team loses the championship, and you're like, there's always next year. No. When was the last time the Canucks have been to the Stanley Cup? It was the last time I was in high school, to put that in perspective.
It was a hot minute.
It's 2011. And have they made it even remotely close since? Exactly. There's not always next year. Fuck's sake. But, yes, you can look to the future, like, in the sense, yeah, okay, Rourke. I mean, that one's a little tough because Nathan Rourke, the quarterback that's been great for the Lions, could theoretically get signed by an NFL team. Because why wouldn't he? He's better than the two quarterbacks the Seahawks have. So, you know, that would suck for the Lions. So the future could be good or could be bad. The Seahawks, we can only go up from here. You know.
That's
Canucks,
one way to look at it.
Exactly. And the Canucks, you know, there's only up from here as well. You know, you can always find it. You may not find it in the moment, but, you know, if you actually look at it, open the book and read, you'll be like, okay, you know what? I get it. The future can look bleak, but there's always something there. There's always something that's going to keep you going. You know what I mean? It's not just like, we suck. Period.
I mean,
it's like, yeah, we suck, but we're going to be better.
I feel like that's very, oh, why am I forgetting? Oh, Ted Lasso.
Oh, maybe. I never watched the show.
Right? I mean, Ted Lasso fans, I have only watched the first season, but that's the vibe.
Fair enough. Very positive vibes. Go team.
But, like, that's the way to do it. And I feel like in life it's kind of the same where, like, people need to either take breaks or, like, they need to realize that it's not too late. Ever. Like, and I mean this in generalization of life, of going back to school or, like, taking time off from school. I wasn't one of those people. I went to school full time and finished my degree in 4.5 years. So I particularly didn't do that, but I know lots of people who took leap years and whatnot.
Well, and I think I mentioned it on here before, and I will always be a proponent of it. I think gap year or taking a year off should be mandatory. For a lot of people, like I get it. Like a lot of people are like, I'm going to travel. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And it's like, yeah, you just got out of high school. I doubt you have enough money to do that. But some people
That's
might.
the thing, right? Like, unless you're getting a hefty graduation gift or you've been working your tail off throughout high school and didn't have any other expenses, you probably can't afford to really travel Europe.
Yeah. But I'm not saying it's impossible. Some people do, and some people have done the things to make it happen. Absolutely. If you can do it, great. But I'm just saying, like, look, you've done school for 12 years in a row, 13 if you want to include, like, kindergarten and preschool and all that stuff. Like, you've been doing it every single day for fucking that long. And it's like, I get it. You just kind of want to continue the ball rolling. But I've talked to a fair amount of people, and they've said, yeah, I kind of wish I took one, and not for other reasons other than just stopping, like, I mean, like,
honestly, I'm opposite.
you think you just want to, you would not go back and take a leap year?
No, I know me. I might not have gone back to school, just because
right.
I would have figured out that, like, real life experience is also very valuable, and I might have focused too much on that, and I might not have the degree I have now.
I get that aspect as well, and that was definitely something my parents were worried of. I said I was taking it like years before I even graduated. I was like, I'm doing it.
Nick preemptively let everyone know.
Yeah, we knew this. We knew this going. But I think that was an issue for my parents because they know I didn't like school. I wasn't a huge buff in it. So they were, I think, a little worried that I just wouldn't go. Little do they know, when you think I'm not going to do something, guess what? I'm going to do it.
Reverse psychology, bitches.
Yeah. So I don't think they were thinking that, but, it was just more like, look, I can go back to school. I did. Did it work? Well... but
like, how much time did you take away from school, and what did you do in the meantime?
2 actual gap years where I did not attend school. First year, right out of school, I worked at Cypress full time, but that was only like 5 months.
I always forget that you were a ski bum.
I worked at Cypress for 7 years, Krysta.
Yeah, and every time it shocks me.
Yeah, that was me. Yep. But so I did that. But I also just like hung out as well. Like, I did not have a job for necessarily the whole time. But then in 2013, I started working at Rona. My friend worked there, and I was like, sure. So I started making a little more money. And then I went to CAP for upgrade courses and adult learning kind of, I learned cool stuff. Like I upgraded my English, my math, I upgraded it basically from like grade 9.
Well, I mean, the most important one's English, right? Because you need either like a B+ or an A to basically go to post-secondary.
Yeah, so I did that, and then I did about 2 years of that, year and a half, and then I did another year, but I worked at Rona like full time, specifically to make money for school. So I did not take out a loan and had no debt going after school, so that was a thing.
Woo.
But so I did that, and then I went to BCIT, as we all know, and so it was a good time. I enjoyed my time, and it was actually funny. I did not use any of my high school to get into BCIT. The only thing I used from my high school is that I graduated high school.
Really? You only need your GED?
Yep. Well, you needed an English, which I got from CAP. I needed an arts course, which a part-time sports broadcasting course that I took counted. And I needed to pass the test.
Okay, but what pushed you to go to BCIT? Why'd you stop at CAP and not continue there?
They didn't have a broadcasting program.
Mm. I see, but you didn't want to finish whatever you were doing at CAP and then...
I was doing adult studies. It just was upgrading courses from high school. And when the teacher said, you don't need this for what you're going into, and I actually looked it up and I didn't, I was like, why the fuck am I learning math?
Nick was like, peace, 2 weeks in.
Literally, well, it was a little further than that, but yeah, I was literally like, I was like, all right, I'm done here. As far as I know, I have an incomplete in cap, but I don't actually know. Anyway.
You don't need it for what you did anyways.
Yeah, so worked out in the end. So.
And honestly, no employer has asked to see my transcript.
No, they don't.
Right?
Care.
Like, they asked me for when I worked in biotech, like, they wanted to know what I got in my science courses and in my English courses.
Well, okay,
so,
sure.
Like, yeah,
that makes sense.
I let them know, but they didn't ask to see proof.
Yeah, you could have easily just said anything and they probably would have believed you.
Yeah, and like, you know what? I'm a nerd. I got on Dean's List type of thing. So, like, I would have just sent that over.
There was a Dean's Worst. I was on that one.
Hey, at least it's a list.
Yeah, but no, like I wouldn't have done it any other way. I suppose if I actually did the research into where I was going, I might have not gone to cap as long, or might have moved everything up a year. But I'm really thankful for the year I went to BCIT. You know, like, it all worked out in the end, kind of thing. But you know, especially now with, you know, the way life's going, especially after the pandemic, the way things going, and especially in my field, not to say there aren't jobs, there's just a lot less of them.
A lot less of them, and lots of turnover or station switching.
Yeah.
Or
so I've definitely had to broaden my stuff, and I've always been a huge proponent. You can go to school whenever the hell you want. Like, there is no age limit. I'm having a bit of a hard time personally, just at this juncture of, like, my age. I'm just like, no, I can't do it. Like, I don't want to.
You also didn't always enjoy school.
No, I hated school. The only reason I liked BCIT is because it was doing something I was interested in. Like, look, I want to be doing something I want to do. You know what I mean? Like, this is the thing about jobs. I don't want just any job. Like, I want to have fun in my job. I don't mind if I have to do it for a little bit to get that better job, but those jobs haven't come up for me yet. And it's like, I want to have fun. I want to, you know, have a good time there. I don't want to just be doing it just to be doing it.
Yeah, like, you're going to be working 30 to 60 hours a week, depending on what you're doing. It's a majority of your life. You want to be having fun, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, you know, and like we say, we're in our mid-20s, right? Like, it ain't going to happen again. Like, I want to live. But it's been tough. And I'm just excited to go forward. But, you know, at some point there will be a time to be able to return to school. And that's what I, you know, maybe we'll have to do. Maybe I won't. We'll have to see, I guess.
Right. And I'm such a huge proponent for people going back to school, because it's like, okay, well, where are you going to be in 4 years anyways? Like, in 4 years, are you going to have that schooling that you want that will give you the education you want, or are you going to be stuck still waiting, wishing you did that?
Well, yeah, exactly. So,
right, like, the time's going to pass either way. You just have to choose how you want it to pass.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'll have to figure that out, but that's a future Nick problem. But it's not something that I'm necessarily, like, giving up on. You know what I mean? Like just because maybe the old career didn't work out doesn't mean you're giving up on it. You're just expanding your horizons.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, lots of people have asked me if I would go back to do my master's, just because they know that I like school. I did well in school. No way. Like, I'm not going to do a master's in like global communications. Like, that's not for the type of career I want to do. That just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, communication is such a broad thing anyway.
Right, it's such a broad thing. So, like, I'll ask people, like, what do you think communications even is? Right? And you get the strangest answers, to, like, telecommunications to media studies.
Exactly. It's so broad. So broad.
Right? It's crazy. But there's just, like, so many things in the future that are, like, unknown, that are kind of scary, and I try not to think of because it makes me get all anxiety-y. But they're, like, realistically, you kind of have to think ahead.
Well, of course, you gotta, like, I'm somebody that lives in the moment. You know, as I mentioned earlier. You know, I'm here. I'm now. And sometimes you do have to think about the future. I mean, it's really hard right now, especially with the world and things, living basically. But
Living's hard.
it's pretty hard. But like what are some of the things that I don't mean to get you all anxiety, but like, what is the one things that you might maybe worry about, when you think towards the future? Like, there's a few things I can think of for sure.
It's more for me the expectation I put on myself for not maybe achieving those on the timeline that I provide myself. Because for me, I provide a timeline.
Yeah.
Right? And I forget about maybe the things I'm looking forward to in the future. For example, like something I'm really looking forward to in the future is building a home together with Spencer, and like our purchasing our first home. Like that's something that like I'm so looking forward to and being able to build with him. And then like all the other things that come with that. But again, I get so frustrated that that's not happening now.
You mentioned timelines, and I hear this a lot from a lot of people.
It's hard not to.
Right, but I think timelines is such a wrong thing. Like, it's like, when you script what's going to happen with this conversation you're going to have with this person, and it doesn't go to script, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess.
Like, that, I guess I've been there. What do you want? But
I'm also the person who like plans everything, so.
Right. But I'm just saying, like, timelines is really hard to put on because you don't know. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this at 28. I'm gonna buy my first home at 32. Like there's all these things. You don't know. You're lucky if you hit that timeline, if I'm being honest. Like,
yeah, and I mean, like, when did you set this timeline? When you were 16?
Well, it could, but even if you're setting it now, like, oh, I got money. I'm saving it in my investments, and it's exactly for buying a house or retirement, whatever happens. Like, it was just kind of an open thing when I told the guy. He's like, what do you want it for? I'm like, one of those two things. And he's like, all right. But, it's just kind of, it's like, you don't know, like, you just don't know. Like, it could be as morbid as, like, you break something and, like, you have to spend a year in a hospital, you know what I mean?
I mean, we live in Canada.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, that would still derail.
Oh, yeah, like, you wouldn't be able to go to work and, yeah.
It just could be as simple as, halfway through, an offer comes up that you can't refuse, you know what I mean? Like, one of you gets this big offer and it's, 6 months away in this place, you know what I mean? Doesn't necessarily ruin the money side, but the timeline's now thrown off. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't think, like it's good to have ideas of time, like prioritizing, you know what I mean? Like, understanding, like having a goal. But I think that having a goal is different than forcing it on a timeline, because if you say, I'm going to have a house at 32, you're putting a lot of pressure on you to do that in, let's say, 4 years, let's say, in my case.
Yeah. And
like that's a lot of pressure. But if I set it as a goal, the goal is to buy a house, which I think a lot of people have these days. It's a bit of an open door, but yourself, it's not going to be when I'm 60. But it's not going to be when I'm 32. If it's when I'm 32, great. If it's when I'm 37, great. Like, it just leaves the door open, and it's not such an expectancy that I'm worried about because, imagine getting to 32 and not being anywhere close. The devastation.
Yeah, but who knows? In a year, so much can change.
I mean, in a year, you win the lottery and you buy your own home and you're 29. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, like, that, like, timelines don't matter.
Yeah.
Make a goal, but timelines don't matter.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's all very subjective. But it is good to have goals.
No, you should. No question.
Yeah, because then, like, what do you have to look forward to?
Well, exactly. Like, these are things you have to look forward to. And, of course, like, you know, you could be a little blocked, you know, like, honestly, for me right now, like, I don't know. The future is open. It's an open door right now. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going to be. I don't know where I'm going to go. I know what I don't know what I want, but, you know.
You know what you don't want.
I know what I don't want, and I know what I do want, but there's a process in getting there, and I don't know what to do there. But, you know, like, I'm just saying, like, you may not know in the moment, but it's going to open. At one point, that door is just going to open wide, and you're going to be like, there it is.
Yeah, and I think people sometimes get so focused on the goal that they forget about the journey. And I know that's so cheesy. Like, I'm like, want to barf hearing that come out of my own mouth.
Yeah.
But I'm a big proponent to cheesy at the same time.
Yeah.
Because it's true. Like you need to appreciate the things that you did to get to where you are now. Like, who would have thought that we would have survived another pandemic type of thing? Right?
The worst pandemic since, like, 1918.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, no one saw that coming.
No one saw it coming.
And that derailed so many timelines.
It did, but it can create new ones. Cough, cough, discontinued gravy. You know what I mean? Like, we've talked about it before, but I'm just saying, like, that was something we were talking about for years. And guess what started it? The pandemic.
Yeah, having time.
You know what I mean? So it's
but also
things happen for
not being able to see anyone else, but virtually being able to do it.
Right. How many times have we done an episode together in the same room? Once? Twice?
Twice, and one of the times they didn't work out.
Well, that time didn't work. That would make 3 because we did it technically twice on that one weekend.
Oh, right, yes.
So, yeah, it would be technically 3, but 2 actual episodes that you've seen.
Yes. The episode that will never be aired.
Nope. Because it can't.
But, Nick, I want to know what's something that you're looking forward to in the future.
I could be funny here and just say this Canucks winning the Stanley Cup and everybody go, ha ha ha!
But are you actually trying to be funny? That's something that you do want to see in your lifetime.
I've said it before, and I actually think this very well could happen. It's one of those things, you know what I mean? Like, when the Canucks win the Stanley Cup, I'll die. You know what I mean? Like that's it.
So Nick will live up until that moment.
Exactly.
It could be until he's 98 and he's hanging onto the bed, being like, "No, I gotta watch this game."
They did it. Like, literally, 2 seconds after they hoist the cup, it's kind of like, life's complete. We're good.
Nick will just fall back.
Well, Seahawks have won a Super Bowl. Lions have won 6 Grey Cups. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's one team left.
Hey.
But like, that's something. I mean, I'm looking forward to. I don't know, just like my life. Like, obviously, I'm sad that it's changing. Like, we're getting older. We understand that. Sometimes we wish we were younger. Sometimes we wish we were older.
I do not wish I was any older. I would be happy to stop aging now.
Completely agree. But I suppose in some cases, like being retired, that sounds fucking cool.
Honestly, Nick, I feel like you're ready for retirement already. You would thrive.
Yeah, I would thrive. Yes. But, like it's I'm just excited to see where it goes. Like, I don't really know what's happening, but hopefully it's pretty cool. Like, I'm pretty excited. Like, who knows? Like, I don't know. Maybe Discontinued Gravy pops off. Like, maybe in Krysta's, I still have Discontinued Gravy, but I have another podcast that pops off. I have my YouTube channel.
And if that popped off, this would pop off because of that.
Exactly. By association. Like, it's, I'm just excited to see what happens. Like, who knows? If it's bad, well, that sucks. But, like, who knows? It's good. Meet that one. Get that dog.
Yeah. The cheesy things in life.
Well, it is. Sure, it is. But, like I said, I don't really have anything else to go off of right now. So you got to find The Little Things, episode 1, Discontinued.
The little things. Well, it's weird when, like, for, like, someone like me, the bigs are happening, right? Or have happened.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you're batting.
Right? Like,
your batting average
I hit
is
about
quite well.
2 milestones. Boom, met my soulmate. Boom, got married to them.
Yeah. You've been batting above 500 for a while.
Right? And I think it's funny because I got messaged. I was being like, so you're not excited for our honeymoon? I'm like, oh, right. Still got to do that. I've settled into married life very quickly.
Yes. And I'm not surprised one bit.
Yeah. The little things make life great. That's for sure.
Says the one that's just been like, I got nothing to look forward to at this point. We're already good.
Yeah, like, the thing is, I realized that, like, life is a roller coaster in ways. Like, when you're up, there's eventually going to be a down. And I know that's so kind of dark and not very glass half full, Krysta.
Yeah.
Like, I'm an optimist usually.
Yeah.
But it's one of the things that kind of makes coping with the downs a bit easier, is knowing that, okay, well, it is going to go up again, right?
Yep.
Like, nothing in life is consistent, and I think that's the only guarantee that we have.
The only consistency is inconsistency.
Yeah, basically, is to bet on that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much you try to control a situation. You can't control everything, no matter how hard you try and how many times I've tried to tell them, yes, you can.
Yeah, I think the key is just to, keep going and, lack of a better term, never giving up, and it's never too late. Like, time just keeps going. You just got to live in it.
Right?
Even
And
if it's
find
hard.
a person that's worth living with it with, whether that's a platonic soulmate or a romantic soulmate. Doesn't matter to me.
Could be anybody, anything.
And maybe a cute fuzzy creature, whether it's a dog, bunny, cat, ostrich, pig.
Yeah,
Okay, wouldn't it be kind of cool to have a mini pig, though?
I guess.
Right?
The ostrich was it that caught me.
Oh, I only thought about that because someone sent me a video today of an ostrich doing a little dance, and I thought it was funny.
When you said ostrich, I just think of Letterkenny being like, allegedly. And if you don't know Letterkenny, I don't really want to say what the ostrich is about on this podcast.
Oh, it's that bad, eh? I don't know.
There's this thing.
It's
where a guy
inappropriate.
had relations with an ostrich, allegedly. The whole thing's alleged. Every time they talk about, like, did you hear he did that? They're like, allegedly. So we don't know.
Wow.
We don't actually know.
That is one big joke, hey?
We don't actually know. But Letterkenny is a good show. Anyway.
Jeez Louise.
Anyway, we should probably...
That took a turn.
Yeah, so we should move on.
Okay, it's time for questions of the week.
Questions of the week. You ask, and we answer. And Krysta, I want to start this one off because I've been asking every single goddamn person in the depot this question. And I want to know. It's a very important question. Who is your favorite Winnie the Pooh character?
Oh. It's a tie between Piglet and Pooh. I just like their friendship together, I think.
Fair enough.
But, like, as a kid, I really liked Piglet. My twin sister really liked Tigger. And Brianna liked Pooh. What about you?
One of you three has the right answer.
Don't tell me you're a Tigger dude.
Do you want me to go get it?
Yeah, I knew. I looked at you and I'm like, he's a Tigger dude.
Tigger is the best. He is my favorite. There is definitely a picture of me at Disneyland, like, tight grip hugging him.
Oh, that's cute.
Tigger is the bomb. I love Tigger. And Michaela is right. Tigger's the best.
Tigger is is ADHD.
Yeah. I don't have that, but yes.
When someone pointed out that like all the characters were basically related to like mental health issues,
Yes.
I was like, oh.
Eeyore is the most relatable one, but
Oh yeah,
Tigger's
like
my
as an
guy.
adult, you're like, yeah,
Yes.
same.
Eeyore. That question caught a lot because I was asking anybody. Like, it didn't matter who you were. I wasn't just asking my friends. I was asking anyone.
Like customers in the store, just like,
No, not customers. No, but I walked in like my HR being like, I have a really important question. She's like, what? I'm like, who's your favorite Winnie the Pooh character? And she's like, really?
But they answered, didn't they?
Everybody answered except for the ones that didn't know. And I'm like, you don't know who Winnie the Pooh is?
What? Have you seen the Christopher Robin movie?
Have I seen the Christopher Robin movie? Of course I've seen
It
the
will make a
Christopher
grown
Robin
man
movie.
cry. It's so good.
It was heartbreaking. It was really good.
It was just so nostalgic, and it's not like you cry out of sadness. It's just like you're healing your inner child or something.
That's kind of what I was telling people like who hadn't seen it. They're like, oh, I can watch it. I'm like, okay, it's kind of really for children. Like, and it's not like a cartoon that is for children but good for adults. This is for children.
Well, it's not even a cartoon.
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying. Like the original, like the cartoon stuff is for children. But I'm saying if you want to know about it, watch Christopher Robin. That's for adults.
Yeah, true. And I mean, Ian McGregor. Love him in that role.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan.
Yes. Hello there.
Hello there.
General Kenobi.
That's a good question.
It is. It elicited a lot of answers. And a lot of people are like, why?
Who came in first?
like-
Did you tally it?
Tigger started hot, but I think Pooh took over in the end.
I mean, he's the safe bet.
Well, yeah. I kind of got to a point where I'm like, okay, that's a basic answer.
Right? Like, I want to be enlightened. Like,
Like-
someone tell me rabbit.
I had one rabbit and one like owl and one roo.
Oh, Roo.
But other than that,
Michaela
yeah,
has
it
a
was
Roo
mostly-
toy, I think.
I got a Tigger.
Oh, that's so cute.
Anyway,
Anyways, my question is, what's one of your personality traits that you're grateful for?
I feel like my niceness.
Ah.
It's nice because I get to be nice to people and people are nice to you back. It's a nice trait to have.
It's nice to be nice.
Yeah, I like it.
Cute.
Yeah.
For me, I think it's my empathy for others. It's kind of a curse sometimes, but it really, I don't know. I think it's almost a superpower,
It's fair.
right? Like,
It's
I
good to
think
have
when
empathy.
you could be like, this is almost a superpower, you know it's a good trait.
Yep. I think both of our answers are really good.
Hee hee.
Okay, I got another one.
Oh my gosh, two?
I know. We're popping off here today. So this one, I guess it's a hypothetical. At least I hope it's a hypothetical. What if I bought a ring for a significant other? We got engaged, but then the girlfriend called off the wedding, and the ring was given back to me.
It wasn't?
It was.
Oh.
Then I used said ring to propose to my next girlfriend. Is that a bad thing? I feel like we're gonna have two differing answers on this
Oh.
because I want to know what you think. 'Cause I feel like this is a boy versus girl thing.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't fly for me.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't stop the proposal or anything, but we would take that ring and go get it remade. You know, like, you can take...
But
what
if
You can take the diamond and the gold, whatever. But, no, I'm sorry. Usually when you pick out a ring, you're picking it out for that girl.
What if they didn't tell you? What if you just loved the ring? And what if they didn't say a word? Is it bad?
Well,
Should
because
they
I don't
say
think
something?
a girl's going to assume... She probably knows that they
They
were
wouldn't.
engaged before.
They wouldn't, and they shouldn't. But
Yeah, they
I'm
knew
just
that they
saying,
were engaged, but they probably didn't think the boy was dumb enough to propose with the same ring. So, that's my take on that.
Wow, we're not holding back. Okay. I do see the point. But what's the difference?
What's the difference?
What if you both liked 16-karat diamonds and there were 20 of them?
It's a 16-karat diamond?
I'm
okay,
not,
never mind. I take it back. I'll take that ring.
I'm assuming. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
do you know how big a 16-karat diamond ring is?
No, I don't,
take that
Krysta.
Off your finger for you. No worries, girl.
I want to. That is quite large.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess poor example, but I'm just saying, like, like I feel like there's a point where it wouldn't matter.
I think it honestly depends on a lot of the backstory. Like, how long did the girl wear it before they called off the engagement? Like, did she just turn him down straight away without seeing the ring? And, like, did he get the ring more for when he was picking it out for his future wife the way he envisioned it? Yeah. Or did he pick it out for her? Like, there's so much that goes into this.
I just love her. Like, I didn't think about any of that. I was just like, I mean, it's a ring.
My ring is custom, okay? Like, I have opinions.
I just love the difference. Like, I'm just like, it's a ring. It probably works. And you're just like, excuse me. Excuse me?
Who?
No.
How dare you?
Yeah, first, how dare you?
And I don't mean that you can't have any ring that's been someone else's before. You know, like a heirloom ring or something that was like
no, that's different. That's different. That I understand. But anyway, I get your points, but I also am a boy in this situation.
Yeah, you are such a boy sometimes. Right? You know, last week when we talked about boys versus men, that's a boy thing.
Yeah.
To be like, oh, really? You'd care? That's a boy.
God, she's heated about this. You are. Okay, let's just move along. Move along. These aren't the droids you're looking for.
Okay, I'm good. So that brings us to recommendations of the week.
Recommendations. We recommend things to do, see, watch, listen to, vibe.
Can I go first?
Sure.
My recommendation is to not do the things that Nick asked about.
No, you can't do that.
Do not.
You cannot do that. There's no way. You can't. No.
I will die on this hill.
You should. That's fine. That's not a recommendation.
Okay, this is kind of like a cheap recommendation. I recommend, like, buying. You're not gonna appreciate this at all, Nick. Like orange juice with pulp, and having a tall glass of it. I have not had that in so long because, hey, your girl's been cutting out juice, cutting out sugar. She's been drinking these all day. Finally had orange juice again, and damn, it just hits different. I could feel the sugar high hitting me too after. It was great. And I was talking about this with a girlfriend, and she's like, never. I would never do that. That's disgusting. And I was like, okay, like, what's your favorite juice? I totally understand if you're not, like, an orange juice person, but you have to be, like, an apple juice, fruit punch person. No. She was like, no juice, ever. Disgusting. And not like Nick. Oh. It's like, no, like Coke Zero, or I'll only have it if there's alcohol in it. Oh. You know? So at that point, I'm like, no. You need to go for the enjoyment factor. Like, you gotta not care about the sugar. You gotta not care about anything else except for how refreshing it is.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
That's my recommendation.
Fair enough.
Nick, what do you have?
That's something. My recommendation is, you know what you need? I feel like you need new music in your life, Krysta. New song by the band New Year's Day. It's called Hurts Like Hell. It's their first song since like 2018-ish. Last album was really good. This song is also really good. So yeah, It's I don't know how to describe it. It's heavy.
Like heavy rock.
It's not like screamo. There's a female lead. She's the lead singer of
Yeah,
the band.
but lots of screamo does have female leads.
Yeah, but it's not like the whole song is screaming. She might scream like once. I don't think she does in that song, but she has songs where she does, but it's more like a one-time thing. It's not the whole song, but this is a good song. Hurts Like Hell by New Year's Day.
Damn. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So you're going to do that while drinking your orange juice this week.
Your tall glass of orange juice with pulp.
Okay, I don't think this is like our best combination recommendation.
No, it's not by any
stretch.
stretch.
In the last few weeks, I think we've just been really hitting it off with the combo recs, but, still works.
You can still drink orange juice while listening to music. You just kick off with Hurts Like Hell by New Year's Day.
Right? And then have a sip before the screamo part, and then you can do a spit take.
That'd be funny. Yes.
Hee hee. Haha. Woohoo.
Anyways,
thanks for listening.
We'll be back at it again with more Discontinued Gravy next week.
Talk to you later.
Peace.